Floridians know the cost of hurricane destruction. Last season, we got lucky. But luck doesn't protect your home. Fortunately, Storm Smart has dependable custom hurricane protection products. Hurricane screens, accordion shutters, aluminum roll-down shutters, flood mitigation systems. Because protected beats lucky every time. Be safe, be smart, be Storm Smart.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by Storm Smart. Protect every opening of your home.
How you doing, everybody? It is a Thursday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live. And, you know, we've always talked about Thursday night. If you're part of our group, and we've been doing this chat for 2 decades, literally, actually even a little longer. It started right after Hurricane Charlie back in 2004. And we started going on broadcast TV last July. So there's definitely some, and I hear it a lot when I'm out in public. You know, it used to always be, hey, where are your suspenders? That would be the first thing. And then the second thing is, what about the dad shoes? And now I'm hearing a lot about DPL. There's a lot of folks who've been watching on television. So you might not know maybe some of the history. Thursday night is a historical night here at Tampa Bay 28 News, which used to be ABC Action News, and prior to that, it was 28 Tampa Bay News. But Thursday night has not changed. It was always treat night. So dating back to the days of Marty Tucker and Brendan McLaughlin and Drew Soysher and Wayne Shattuck, that was our original core group who did the evening news back in the 90s and the early 2000s. They started a thing called treat night. And every Thursday night here at the station, somebody would be responsible for bringing the best treats, you know, whether it was cakes or cookies or whatever the case may be. And over the years, it's gone through ups and downs. And one time we had one of our guys bring a veggie platter who was chastised severely for such a major faux pas. I mean, maybe veggies are a treat for somebody, but it ain't for me, at least not for a treat night. So anyway, point is, Thursday night is treat night, but tonight is Nona night. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean by that coming up in a couple of minutes. We are going to talk about Dolly and talk about the forecast, but there's a big event coming up shortly, and it's called Nona Night, and I've got the menu for Nona Night. And again, next segment, we're going to be talking about it. But man, the meal, I'm sitting here eating my microwave soup for dinner, and I'm reading all this stuff that looks so amazing. So we're going to be talking about what Nona Night is. I would tell you, hey, you'd have an opportunity to get involved, but apparently it's sold out in just a matter of days because everybody, like, can you imagine? Like over 20 Nonas all in the kitchen at the same time, making some of the best Italian cuisine you could ever have. I mean, man, what a night. It's Nona night, and it's coming up. So we're going to talk about that coming up in just a minute. Lynn, how you doing? Good to see you. So what do you guys think about the Rays, the Tampa vote for the city of Tampa? So in case you missed it, the Rays Stadium, the proposed Rays Stadium, the vote today was for the city of Tampa, and it passed just by the skin of their teeth, 4-3, it passed. Tomorrow, Hillsborough County. So if it passes for Hillsborough County, if it passes for, which it did pass for the city, then apparently they start breaking ground very, very soon for a 2029 multi-use facility, which, you know what? There's a lot of folks who are really pro. There's a lot of folks who are against for their own reasons as well. You guys know me. I'm a massive baseball guy. I always have been a massive baseball guy. So any opportunity I would have to see a Rays baseball game where I could literally walk across to see it, I'm all in. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how the vote goes tomorrow. But yeah, it was a close vote. And matter of fact, the way it played out, I kind of broke it during the weather because Jada was doing the story at the top of the 6 o'clock news, and she was talking about how the vote was about to happen. And I'm watching the vote on my phone. I was on the YouTube page for the city council, and it was streaming it live. And I'm literally watching the vote, and I see the vote, and I see how it goes down, 4-3. And that's right in the middle of Jada's live shot. So, she was obviously in the middle of doing it as opposed to being in the room where the council was going on. So they come out after her live shot, and I'm over at the weather wall. I'm like, yeah, guys, it passed. Because I was watching it, and I had to share it. So anyway, the big vote for Hillsborough County is tomorrow. All right, so here's what I want to do. We're going to jump into the weather. We have Dolly. We have a big change in our weather. I'm going to say this now. I've been saying it for days on end. Dolly is not a factor for the continental U.S., all right? It just isn't. I doubt it'll even be around in 3 days. Could be a rainmaker, though, and a significant one for Puerto Rico. And talking to Nadine Yanis, who has a lot of friends and family in Puerto Rico, she's from Puerto Rico, she said they're going through a pretty significant drought there with water restrictions. So, that might not be a bad thing, but we will see. So anyway, there's also a almost total lunar eclipse tonight, and totality or near totality is around midnight. But we are beginning to see some rain out in the Gulf, and that rain is now starting to move on shore. So when you take a closer look here, even across areas of coastal Pasco and Pinellas County, man, look at it. I mean, we're now beginning to see some showers out there that are going to move on shore. That's up around Hudson, Bayonet Point, Tarpon Springs, Citrus County as well, around Crystal River. And there's a lot more in the Gulf. See all that? So, yeah, I think, there's a pretty decent chance we're going to be dodging some raindrops this evening and again tomorrow morning. But then the pattern change arrives by Saturday. Temperatures right now in the mid-80s, obviously not as hot as recent days because we had clouds much of the day. And that's what happens, right? When you get clouds and showers in the morning, it'll keep our afternoon highs down. Mostly cloudy, 84 degrees right now at the airport. South winds at 9 miles an hour. Humidity up high, as you would expect. It's summer, right? There's a look at the satellite, and you kind of see all that stuff popping out in the Gulf. So if you take a look at this, I'll go ahead and advance this hour by hour. There's 10 o'clock, there's 11 o'clock. There's when we're supposed to reach near totality, and the models are showing we're going to get some rain coming in. I don't think it's going to be quite as widespread as you're seeing here, but I do think we are going to see some showers overnight and some thunder rumbling as well. So if you're a light sleeper, I would not be the least bit surprised if you hear some thunder rumbling. Not maybe the really loud ones like we had last week where we had thousands of lightning strikes in a short period of time. These are going to be kind of like the ones that just sort of roll, that rolling thunder out in the distance. I do think you're going to have that overnight and even into tomorrow morning as well. So for the last time in a while, we are going to see some morning showers along the coast. There's 10 o'clock tomorrow. There's 11 in the morning. Still more moving on shore. Early afternoon, the rains start to move east. But tomorrow we're going to get, there's going to be some areas that are going to get some decent rain at times. Certainly not a sunny day overall by any stretch, except for in inland areas. However, on Saturday, we're going to do a flip-flop. We're going to do the old 180, except it really won't be a 180. It'll be kind of a 90. What do I mean by that? All right, well, a 180 degrees would bring winds out of the northeast. Instead, we're going to do more of a 90-degree switch, and the winds are going to go from the southwest to the southeast, which is about a 90-degree swing. That is all it's going to take to completely change our weather. You talk about fronts and low pressure and all these kind of things. More often than not, in our area in the summer, you get a change in wind, everything changes. And I do think we're going to see that change arriving on Saturday. Sunny in the morning, sunny in the early afternoon, and then late day, early evening storms, and maybe some pretty widespread stuff. starting on Saturday through all of next week. So the more traditional late day storms are back in our forecast starting by the end of Saturday and in through all of next week, which will bring our high temperatures in the low 90s. And there is a look at the overall rainfall forecast. Certainly some decent rain. The timing is totally different, though. Instead of morning into the early afternoon, it'll be late day, early evening, right through next week. All right, guys, there is Dolly. Dolly's a little bitty thing, little bitty, right? So not going to really bother anybody. I mean, the Euro has been showing this, as have been the other models for a while. And yet again, the hurricane, and it deserved to be named. I would argue some of the other ones did not need to be named. Cristobal was a joke, but it was named anyway. This one is a legitimate tropical storm, albeit very, very small. So this is the projected track, and by the weekend, it likely will be, poof, gone pretty much. So if you take a look at some of the models, and we'll go ahead and quickly show you some of the models as well. So this is just not an issue. It will be a rainmaker for the islands, the Lesser Antilles and through Puerto Rico. Matter of fact, look what happens. I mean, this is the Deep Earth model ensemble run. You see these go out this far, and then poof, they're gone because it dissipates. Now, you see a couple of areas here, up there and there and there and there and even there. What's up with that? So what that is that's taking the remnant of this after it dies and tries to redevelop it a little bit down the road. I will not say that that is an impossibility. That could happen. And even this one brings it across Florida. But overall, at least as an organized system for the time being, it is a non-factor, all right? Now, when we take a look at the Euro ensembles, all right, and what this shows us is you continue to see these systems, and look what the Euro does with it. Euro kind of kills it in the islands, then maybe, and spreads it out a little bit. So, and does it redevelop a little bit later? Oh, maybe. Not a threat for us, I wouldn't think, but still. But then look what's behind it. Another wave. Look what's coming off of Africa by this weekend. Another wave. And it takes a similar track. And it does the same thing. It fizzles out. And look at the Caribbean. Nothing. Zip. Zilch. Nothing. Bupkis. Nada. There ain't nothing there. And we've been saying this now for months on end. When there is an El Nino, the Caribbean is shut down. There ain't nothing there. So cruisers, I will say, if you're going on an Eastern Caribbean cruise that's going to go to Puerto Rico or St. Thomas or St. John's or in that area, and you're coming in on the north side, it could be a little bumpy there and a little rainy as that coincides. But anything down in the Caribbean, you got nothing. And that's going to continue for quite a while. How long, you may ask? Well, check it out. So we've been showing you this map for months, and it's not changing. Look at the Caribbean. Look at all that dry air. Nothing. This takes us to the middle of September. Look at all the dry air. So if anything is going to develop, it is going to be north of this dry air where Dolly is now, right along it, and either curve or not curve, right? Same thing to the middle of September. Either curve or not curve. But anything that goes into the Caribbean is going to be ripped apart. It's just the way it is. All right, so there it is. We covered our rain chances increasing late afternoon, the tropics, what's out there now, what's there behind. But let's talk Nona night, and we'll do that in 90 seconds as DPL continues. Okay, we are in a break. What's for dinner, Mary asks. Well, you know what? I'm going to be having my microwave soup, and that's tragic because I'm looking at this menu, and this is ridiculous. So when we come back out of the break, we're going to introduce you to our folks. And are they going to stand on Wendy boxes or no?
Yeah.
Stokes is over there. You guys can take the shot, Jonathan, if you want to. So y'all know we have, now those boxes are for Wendy Ryan because Wendy's very little. So sitting next to Paul and myself, who are taller, she wants to be even. So those are the boxes. So we're back in 45 seconds. But for our streaming folks, who do we have here? Say hi.
Hello. Roxanne Papilla. Anne-Marie Haneke.
We've got Roxanne and Anne-Marie, right?
Yes.
And they are going to be. So we're going to talk more about this, but who came up with this menu?
Each member came up with their own recipe because it's their Nona's recipe.
Oh, it's their Nona's recipe?
Yes.
Oh, so this is a really cool thing, guys. And we would show you video, but this is the first year they're doing it. But my guess is, considering it's already sold out, my guess is this is going to become a tradition.
We hope so.
So, all right, so we are back in 8 seconds. All right. In 4, 3, 2. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live, and it is Nona night. Now, you may ask, what the heck are you talking about, Dennis? All right, I'm going to be the first to admit I was not familiar with this event that's coming up, but I am now because, first of all, let's introduce our guests. Who do we have here, and where are y'all from?
Anne-Marie Haneke, I'm here from Tampa, born and raised.
Roxanne Papilla, third generation Tampan.
Nice. And the group that is putting on the Nona night is?
Our Ladies Auxiliary.
And so let's talk a little bit about that, because I'm looking at this menu, ladies, and this is unbelievable. I mean, it goes wedding soup, Sicilian chicken soup, eggplant, Sicilian spinach, stuffed artichoke casserole, stuffed shells, ziti, tortellini. It's an amazing menu. And what y'all were telling me is, well, first of all, what is this for? Tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up.
So we decided to come off the movie from Nona's and do a Nona night, but had a little twist to it where instead of having just one meal, we have several different recipes done by our members. So our members are cooking for this night.
And so how many Nonas and how many people are they going to be cooking for?
We are cooking, we are 20 of us, and we are cooking for 230 people.
Have either of y'all ever cooked for that large of a group before?
No, never.
Maybe 100, 150, but that's about it.
Oh, dang, that's still a lot. Is that your family? You got 150?
I got a big family.
So we were talking about it earlier, and so we've got this extensive menu, but you were saying that what's really neat about it is because so many of the members are from different parts of Italy, and their families, their Nonas did it differently, so you might have a similar item, but it could be a completely different take on it, yeah?
It's true.
Yes. So my family's from Bari, her family's from Sicily, and when she started sharing her recipes, I've never had that, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So yes, they'll be tasting all the different regions of Italy.
So how long do you think it's going to take for you to cook these meals? I mean, are you going to start days in advance? Or how? And first of all, what the heck is it going to be like having that many chefs in the kitchen? Because that's got to be crazy.
So what we're doing is those that are making cookies, which we brought you some.
Oh,
we kind of did those, just this past week because they're fresh for 2 weeks. The rest of us are starting to cook our pastas and our meats now, so that they'll be ready. Our event is on Saturday.
So what would you say each of you are your specialties?
My specialty is pasta di broccoli, and it's a meal that my grandmother always cooked. It's very special to me. It's a Sicilian broccoli dish. She explained it that they didn't always have a lot of money to buy meat, so they used whatever they could to feed their family. And this is a delicious broccoli pasta dish. It's garlic and a lot of cheese.
And what about you?
So I'm making an eggplant parmesan, which my husband raves about. He actually walked in the kitchen this morning and said he wants an air freshener. But I'm also doing a catta latte, which is a pastry dipped in honey that is from our region that not many people make.
See, what I think is so cool about these, and you can tell just in listening to your stories, when you cook these meals, it has to bring back memories of family and take you back to certain places, don't you think?
Yes.
Yes, and that's why we're doing it. Our whole Ladies Auxiliary is about culture and traditions, and that we're going out into the community now. So we're trying to bring all of these cultures and traditions to the people. We're giving a book, a recipe book, so that they can continue these traditions in their homes.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We'll hit another break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about the auxiliary, where they can get the book, and maybe where to look if you do it next year, because it's sold out, right? I mean, you cannot get in because it was such a popular idea. So we'll be back in 90 seconds to talk more about that as Dennis Phillips Live continues. Oh, that was so good. That's really good. That's good stuff.
So do you want some of our cookies?
Yeah. I'll put them out. I'll put them out for our treat night.
Okay.
Because that would be perfect. So, what are the? And we'll ask about this when we come back out as well. But what are the ages? What is the oldest to the youngest?
I think our youngest is in the 20s, and our oldest is our best Nona ever. She's 94.
Oh wow.
Yes, and she'll be there. She cooks. She's known as the cookie lady. She makes cookies for all the clubs.
And I bet there are such stories that come along with it. And that, to me, I could probably just sit there and just listen to these stories forever.
Yes.
Because there's so many. And again, they're so related, to family.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's what makes it wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so by the way, if anybody has any questions, feel free to pass them on here, and I will ask them along. And let's talk a little bit about the book and the auxiliary, where folks can get that, and maybe what some of the community work that the Ladies Auxiliary does for this area. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. All right, we are back in 20 seconds. Yeah, that was a 9-minute segment. Or 8-minute segment. It flies because we're just talking. All right, back in 10, and it's the name of the auxiliary. It's the.
We're changing it.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. Okay, back in 3, 2. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live. So it is Nona night here, and we were just talking about this. So big event coming up. By the way, even though it's sold out, when is the event, ladies?
It is Saturday, this Saturday, August 29th, from 5 to 8 at the Sons of Italy Club.
Okay, so, and folks are not going to be able to get the home-cooked meals because it is sold out, but you have a book there with, I'm guessing, some of the recipes that will be served this weekend?
Yes, every recipe is in here, and it tells who their Nona was and what member of our club made it.
And we were talking about, I was curious what the age difference is, and this is pretty awesome. So if you can share without giving names away, because you might get in trouble, what are the age differences from oldest to youngest?
Our oldest member is 94 years old, and she is the cookie queen.
Nice.
She makes a phenomenal amount of cookies, and they're so delicious. And our youngest member is in our 20s, so we have a variety of ages, and they all bring something special to our group.
And speaking about something special, y'all are obviously very active in the community as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we've been an auxiliary for 40 years, over 40 years, but we're branching out into the community. So some of the things that we do is the Feast of St. Lucia. It's as one of the saints for the blind. We hold a camp every year for 22 years, I think we've been doing, Campo Italiano. And it is to teach the younger generation language and how to cook and the traditions of Italy.
Oh, that is awesome. So I'm getting some questions in here. I'm not sure if you all know this, but Michael wants to know, where can he get the best Italian cookie platter for Christmas?
Angela. Angela can make the best cookies.
That's our.
She does sell them, yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, so is there a website that folks can go on to get the book, or where can they find that book, the cookbook?
So we had our old website, which we are going to show you our new name now.
Oh.
Our new name is Le Sorelle d'Italia.
Okay.
And that will be our website. We'll change our website tomorrow, so you'll be able to go on live. On the website and on our Facebook page for any information on that in our future events.
So is it lesorelledeitalia.com?
Yes.
Okay, all right, and they could probably Google it as well, so.
Yes.
And La Sorelle means sisters.
Oh, okay.
Sisters of Italy.
We're a sisterhood.
We're not just a women's club. We have formed bonds that really were sisters.
And again, we were talking about this in the break as well. I mean, I think, and share a little bit about this, if you, with me sharing a family dinner, there's nothing more personal in the world. I mean, I believe that. I have 6 kids, and when they're all home and we're all sharing a dinner, I get emotional thinking about it. It's just something about it, and I'm sure the stories you all have are just unbelievable.
Yes, and that's what this is all about. It's not just about the food. The Nonas taught us that it's about family and community and making those bonds together and creating memories together.
And cooking is love. In the Italian home, cooking is love.
Yes.
And that's still a thing? It's things I've noticed as my kids have gotten older, and the things that maybe they used to love, maybe they love less or love more. But I always wondered, in some of the more traditional families, is that still a thing where those dinners are still everything?
Absolutely. Sunday pasta every Sunday.
That's awesome. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck this weekend. Please, if there's video, send us some of the video and I can show it next week, because I would just love to see, because I have a feeling it's going to be mayhem, but at the same time, it's just going to be maybe controlled mayhem, and I can't imagine how awesome it's going to be. So
that's what we hope.
Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it. Good luck this weekend. And I mean, are there plans to do it again next year?
Yes, obviously, because we have a waiting list and we still have people calling for tickets. So we will do it again, and we'll figure out how to get more tickets sold.
That would be awesome, and we'll definitely let people know how to get them. Ladies and thank you so much. I appreciate you coming by. We'll be back in 90 seconds to finish up our last segment on Dennis.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, guys. We're on break. So good. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, please do. Please set Jocelyn. I guess she's been talking with you. If you get some video, I'd love to share that. Or even if it's on YouTube or something or wherever, I'll look for it.
Okay.
Because that's great. Oh, you want your menu back?
Thank you.
So.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
and if I knew you had a microwave, we would have brought you some eggplant parm. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm eating broccoli and cheddar Panera bread from BOGO
I'm so sorry.
at Publix. That's all right.
I would have brought you something.
Oh, that's very sweet. But I will put those cookies out for treat night.
Okay,
That's
wonderful.
awesome. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
My pleasure. You guys were great. That was so good. Well, thank you. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm with you, Patricia. I was up in New York City last weekend, and she was saying, miss a good Italian store like you have in New York. And yeah, right? All right, let's see. We are back in 20 seconds. We'll finish up with one last look. We'll go ahead and look at the tropics and the 7-day. And love them. It is a lot of work, Jack. You're right about that. All right, Legoland ponchos. Let's talk about that. Philip's asking. Back in 3, 2. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live. Philip just said Legoland bring ponchos. Tomorrow, yes. Early to mid-afternoon into the late afternoon. So inland areas will be later. Coastal areas will be earlier. Let's go ahead and do one quick roundup in case you missed what we were talking about earlier. Let's start with Dolly. And there she is, a rather small system. There it is, little bitty. And really not going to amount to much of anything. Probably going to stay north of the islands, but there's a projected path. I do think it could be more of a rainmaker as a tropical wave. And some of the models are trying to keep that tropical wave together a little bit longer, or maybe even redevelop it, which is what we're seeing right here with the deep earth. So the Google model, you see the majority of them bring it right here, and then they just stop it as it fizzles out. But then a few try to redevelop it in several spots as a wave, and that is something that's a possibility. We'll watch that. I wouldn't really be concerned too much about it. Here is the 8 o'clock still the 5 o'clock advisory. I take that back. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 7-day for us, because we're going to get some big changes to the timing of our rain. All right. Friday will be a day much like today. Start with rain in the morning. I think some decent coverage mid to late morning, and then moving inland. Saturday, the winds come around out of the southeast, and that brings us back to mostly sunny mornings, and the storms rolling in. Yeah, no chance in the Gulf, David. And the storms rolling in mid to late afternoon all of next week. So not just a weekend thing, but I think start Saturday for the next week. Morning sunshine, late day storms, but tomorrow morning, one last chance at picking up some morning coastal showers. And again, lunar eclipse tonight, a near total lunar eclipse, reaches near totality shortly after midnight. There will be some clouds and showers, but if you're up, check it out. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it as always. You have a great night, and we will see you on tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. And we are out. We hit it. We hit the out. Yeah, Charlotte, I have too. I've thought about that a lot. And it's one of those things where, Dolly Parton was such a beloved person that you want to, like you could say, hello, Dolly. But, and I'm sure Dolly Parton, of all people, would love it. You know, she would enjoy reminiscing about her in favorable ways. I mean, when it happens to me, you know, if there's a hurricane, well, there won't be a dentist anymore because I think they retired it, but I would be all about, you know what, put my face over that icon and bring it wherever you bring it. You know, there are some people that are, you know, they're old school, like, oh, you shouldn't be making, you know, you shouldn't put a face over something. I get it, but look, we don't live in the 60s and 70s anymore with that newscast that it's just kind of like very serious. You know, the Walter Cronkite days. I mean, Walter Cronkite was as respected of a journalist as there probably ever was in the history of the world. And yet, I would wonder if that type of journalism would even fly anymore these days, because people are interested in other ways of presentation. And all you got to do is look at YouTube and look at the socials and see what they're watching. And yes, the younger folks are watching TikTok. Matter of fact, over 50%, I believe the number is 52%, 52% of all people under 30, their primary source of news is TikTok. So you can sit and argue until you're blue in the face that, the old days of journalism, we miss them. Well, you know what? Maybe you do, but most of the younger folks don't. So I think that is why we've had to learn to adjust to people's viewing habits and what they want and how they want it. And you know, you can fight that battle as long as you want to, that you think things should be a certain way, but that's not what the public is wanting. And the bottom line is, last time I checked, it's our job to provide the public what they want, not to give the public what we want. And I will say that one again. In my opinion, it's my job for us to give you what you want when you want it. It is not my job to tell you when you want it, because you're going to say whatever and you're going to go elsewhere. So there's some websites and some people are just all absolutely bent over the fact that, you know, people are showing things in a different way than they used to, trying to develop viewership. Well, I would argue some of that behind the scenes stuff makes them a more relatable situation. And I personally think that there's not a thing harm. And I get it. There's some people saying, are you going to be a credible newscaster if you're doing jokes or doing whatever? And I do get that mentality. But the bottom line is the proof is the proof. And when over 50% of people under 30 are watching YouTube TikTok for their main source of news, that ain't a serious newscast. I think there's a way to do both. Just my opinion. So anyway, I guess that's about it, guys. Deborah's having a Nona's dinner in October. Well, that's kind of cool. So you're right, Charlotte, unless it's guac. So anyway, that's about it. You guys have a great night. I'm going to have my dinner. I think there's some preseason football on, and fantasy football drafts are coming up this week and next week, so that's a big thing too. So again, if you're just tuning in, thanks for stopping by. The Rays Stadium passed the Tampa City Council today, 4 votes to 3. On deck, no pun intended, tomorrow, the Hillsborough County Commission is up to bat, and we will see if it is a walk-off or it is a third out in the bottom of the ninth. We'll see. Have a good night. We'll see you in tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.